This is my third attempt trying to get this application verified. Oh no, what's going on? Well, the first time they said I needed to send in my college transcript when I did dual enrollment back in high school. Yeah, you were supposed to do that. What happened the second time? Well, then they said everything in my transcript had to match perfectly, including the subject and the letter grades. Yeah, you were supposed to do that too. Did you read the instructions? No. Hey fam, my name is also Fam, and today we're going to talk about my PE school application timeline. As you may already know, I applied last year in 2020. Caspa opened up in April and I took the month of May and June to complete my application. Then for the entire next month, I didn't touch Caspa at all. I only studied for my GRE exam, which I took on July 31st. After that, I gave myself a day or two to finalize my Caspa application, and then I submitted that on August 2nd. My verification process was actually fairly quick. I know they give you a timeline of 2 to 4 weeks, but it doesn't always take that long unless there is something wrong with your application. But for me, I was verified in 2 days on August 4th. On this day, I had officially applied to PE schools, but now comes the supplemental applications. I got a little busy that month with work, so it took me a couple extra weeks to finish all my supplementals. I finished a majority of them by August 22nd, and definitely by the end of August, I was done. So in the month of September 2020, PA schools already had my initial application, my supplemental application, my GRE score, and all of my letters of recommendation too. And then began the waiting period. I applied to 10 schools in total. You might already know I applied to Apple, Coconut, and Pineapple, and I also applied to 3 other in-state schools. Those were the main 6 schools that I applied to. But besides that, I also applied to 4 additional schools. I applied to Duke University in North Carolina, Emory University in Georgia, Elon, also in North Carolina, and UT Southwestern in Texas. And I was immediately rejected by all of them. I remember I had just submitted my supplemental application for one of them, and the next day I got an email saying, "Oh hey, we got your application, but no thanks." All of them eventually sent me an email saying, "We don't want you here." But that's okay, I had to shoot my shot. Those were my reach schools, and I was realistically planning on going to one of the other 6. So again, I initially applied on August 4th, had majority of the supplementals done by August 22nd, and I got my first interview from Apple a couple weeks later on September 16th, 2020. I selected an interview date a month and a half later on October 29th. 2 days before that though, on October 27th, is when I got my second interview invite from Coconut. Coconut was pretty quick. My interview with them was actually the following week on November 6th. And after that, it was just silence. I just kept waiting, hoping to hear something, but 1 week passed, 2 weeks passed. I was getting pretty nervous, but then finally, 3 weeks later, Apple got back to me on November 17th, and I was waitlisted. Coconut also took 3 weeks to get back to me. A week after finding out my Apple decision, on November 25th, Coconut put me on the waitlist as well. And then nothing happened for a month. I checked my emails every day, I was checking the forums every day, trying to see if anybody heard anything at all, but there was nothing. And then on January 6, 2021, I got my interview offer from Pineapple. And then I scheduled my interview 1 month later on February 5th. If you're curious about how my interviews went, you can check out my video about it right here. It was interesting that I got my Pineapple interview invite on January 6th because the day after, on January 7th, I got my first acceptance from Apple. After my Pineapple interview, it was another month of silence. And then finally on March 9th, Pineapple got back to me and I was on the waitlist again. After that, it was 2 quiet months of no activities. I was ready to start PA school with Apple until I got a phone call on May 5th, 2021, and I was accepted to Pineapple. And just a few weeks ago, after a whole 7.5 months of being on the waitlist, I finally got accepted to Coconut as well on July 9th, 2021. If you have applied on Caspa and you're playing the waiting game, I understand. It was horrible for me. People were getting accepted left and right on the forums, and I was just sitting there week after week with no news whatsoever. It is enough to drive you insane. But you just have to keep it together, keep being hopeful, and try your best not to go crazy. If you're looking for productive things to do while you're waiting to hear back from PE schools, you can check out my video right here. I hope my timeline gives you a little bit of hope, especially if you're somebody who hasn't heard back from any schools yet. Just know that it takes a lot of time and patience. But you got this and you're gonna be just fine. I wish you all the best. Good luck. If you would like to share your journey with me, or if you have any questions for me, please leave them on the comment section below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if you're interested in the PA field, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.